Welcome to the Dental Team Podcast. I'm your host, Kiera Dent, and I have this crazy idea that maybe I could combine a doctor and a team member's perspective because let's face it, dentistry can be a challenging profession with those two perspectives. I've been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, office manager, regional manager, practice owner, and I have a team of traveling consultants where we have traveled to over 165 different offices coaching teams. Yep, we don't just understand you, we are you. Our mission is to positively impact the world of dental, and I believe that this podcast is the greatest way I can help elevate teams, grow VIP experiences, reduce stress, and create A-teams. Welcome to the Dental A-Team Podcast. Hello, Dental A-Team listeners. This is Kiera. All right, guys. I want to give you a fun topic today. I hope you guys are having the best day wherever you are. I am car casting today, so I hope you guys are just having a magical day wherever you are. And please remember, what do I say all the time? Dentistry is truly what? That's right, the best profession we could ever work in. And I hope you remember that. I hope you're just smiling, beaming ear to ear. We get to truly change people's lives through the work that we do. So ensure that you love it. All right, guys. So I have some practices who are really trying to ramp up ortho and 3D printing in their practices. So if this is you, fantastic. If it's not, hey, listen in because it's going to give you a great idea for a future you to be able to do. So with these practices, what I found is oftentimes we try to throw so many projects on our hygienist, so many things to pack in that 60 minutes that oftentimes the hygiene team's like, forget it. I'm going to focus on one thing. So what I suggest is, number one, let's set a focus. Maybe your focus is going to be 3D printing and scanning for Q1. That's a lie. That's two things. So let's just focus on scanning and ortho in Q1. Q2 will work on 3D printing, so maybe night guards. Q3 is going to be on sleep apnea. And Q4, let's do perio. Now, yes, you should be looking for all these things all the time. Yes, yes, yes. However, we're human beings, guys. If I tell myself, all right, Kiera, so every single quarter, every single day, you need to be focusing on making sure you eat a healthy diet, making sure you work out, making sure you drink enough. Oh, by the way, you also need to make sure you sleep enough. Oh, and you need to make sure you're super nice to your team. Oh, and you need to make sure that you are creating podcasts, and you need to make sure that you're focusing on company growth, and you need... Like, bottom line is, the answer is yes, I should. But if you've read the book Essentialism or The One Thing, you'll learn that when we distract ourselves and we have all these different things coming at us, we actually are super non-productive. So again, yes, we should be looking for all these things with our team. That is a yes. That is something that is healthy for patients. But I found sometimes just having a primary focus can actually get people into the rhythm and the routine. I tend to do this. So I have a lot of goals, but I have to set focuses per quarter of what I'm going to work on. So that's my first tip. If you want to implement more ortho and 3D printing in your practice, pick a quarter and focus on that. Hey, Dental A-Team listeners, we decided to get a little unconventional and come to all of you guys because guess what? The Dental A-Team is hiring the best of the best for traveling consultants. So if you know of somebody that you work with, that you've worked with in the past, that you think would make an incredible Dental A-Team consultant, please email us, hello@thedentalateam.com. We do not hire people working at offices that we work with. So we're just putting that out there. But we do want you guys, if any of you know of anybody who you think would be an incredible consultant that would love to positively impact the world of dentistry, that they've worked in the front office as an office manager, a treatment coordinator, a scheduler, a biller, and they have back office experience, send them our way, hello@thedentalateam.com. And guys, like you, we're looking to hire our unicorn, and thank you all for helping us out. Here's and cheers to hiring all of our unicorns and making this year our year to build our most incredible teams. So the Scan Showdown is where you have everybody at the end of the quarter get together, and you can do it a couple of ways. You could possibly have one of the doctors be the patient, and then you have everybody go. I was able to have this with, I think we had a group of 8 assistants and hygienists and 2 doctors. And so I split the groups up. I had them in 2 different operatories. We had 2 scanners, so super fun. And what we did is we had all 4 of the team members had to scan a quad in the doctor's mouth. And I totally made this up on the spot, but it was really fun because they had to work as a team. They were able to watch each other rather than just being one person. So you could definitely do this Scan Showdown. And then, yes, I did buy gold little trophies online to give the winner. So I really think like I was talking about, of getting this practice in place. So instead of going full steam ahead, we really break it down, and then we have a fun challenge at the end of the quarter to ensure that we're all on track and on the same page. So I think that this is just a fun way, for example, to get those ortho cases ramped up. If you want to do 3D printing or sleep apnea or anything else, really just break it down to make it so simple. So I think some of the basic pieces to pull from this are: one, be super focused on what you're doing for that quarter. Don't try and implement every single thing, but really figure out what's going to move you forward and what the ultimate goal is. So if I wanted to ramp up ortho in my practice, I might do Q1 is just us scanning once a week and then have a scan showdown at the end of that quarter. Then the next quarter, I might stack on it and let's try and scan at least 3 to 5 patients per week, and let's try and close X number of Invisalign cases or ortho cases this quarter. Have the whole team build it again, but you're building upon the scan showdown in the quarter prior. This way you guys are building upon the skill set. I really do believe that once you get these adjunct services, the extra things into a routine, what it does is it allows your team to really then flourish and build upon it. What often happens, and I'm guilty of this too, is we do it for a quarter and then we move on to the next thing. And so we really don't give our team an opportunity to build momentum. I know my husband and I were talking and he was wanting to have an idea for his team meeting. And the week before, he had just done a meeting on communication. And then the next week, we were literally talking about switching it and talking about positivity. And then both of us, independent, came together at lunch and realized, hey, we're actually going to zigzag your team around, and they're not going to get to build momentum on this communication topic that you had done. I find this often happens in teams where they get so excited, but they don't allow the time to marinate, to be able to grow to the next level. So I feel like allow your team to win. Maybe just have ortho as your objective for 1 year and just build upon it, build upon it, build upon it. Get really good. Actually master the skill rather than just practicing the skill. You always have to practice it to master it, but sometimes we often jump ship or switch and pivot gears before we really let that system delve in. I'm always intrigued by the practices who truly are elite, and what I will say is they are very methodical and they really, really, really master something before they move on to the next thing. So I am a shiny object syndrome kind of gal, and I really have to work super hard to not pivot my team constantly. So I would suggest if you guys want to add in 3D printing, ortho, sleep apnea, give it a good 2 minimum quarters to really, really, really get good at it. 6 months where your team just feels like it's amazing. Think back to dental school, guys. For those of you who attended dental school, if you didn't, I'll kind of fill you in. Your practice, your school didn't have you do crowns one day, fillings another day, root canals another day. They literally, and I know this, guys, I worked at a dental college. They gave you crown prep filling after filling after filling after filling after filling after filling after filling. And it started out as a one surface. Then it went to 2 surface. Then it went to 3 surface, 4 surfaces. Once you got really good at that, then they moved you into crown preps and making temporaries. Once you got great at that, they moved you into root canals. They didn't pivot you. Can you imagine in dental school trying to learn how to do a 1 surface, 2 surface, 3 surface, 4 surface, crowns, root canals, implants, and like that'd feel crazy. You would never feel like you could actually get good at that skill. So I'm saying that to the doctors to remind you that when you were learning new skills, you didn't get thrown to the wolves. They gave you time to master it. And I know because I did this, and we would have students master x-rays over a quarter. They would master different skill sets over a certain amount of time. We usually did fillings, and we always started with posterior. Then we moved to anterior. And maybe your school wasn't set up quite the same, but I would imagine it would have a similar curriculum. But the goal was so you could really master, and you started with the small things. So the example of the ortho I gave where we just start with scanning 1 patient per person per week. Then we increase it to wanting to have a scan showdown. Then maybe we go to 3 patients per week per person. Then we ramp it up to closing X number of cases and realizing we're just stacking so our team can really master these skills. So guys, there's some great tips for you. If you want to add ortho to your practice, 3D printing, you could do the same type of thing. You could figure out we're going to get really great at night guards or we're going to get really great at creating our own ortho trays. Whatever it is, but just really allow yourself to master that before we move on to the next layer. And then have a benchmark of how will you know that you have mastered it. For this practice, it was so fun to see them. I saw them in October, and then I came back in March, and the whole team is able to scan on patients. No, they don't scan on every single patient, but they definitely scan so much more, and it really helps all of them. So guys, there's some tips for you. I hope you take it. I hope you think about it. You can apply this to the front office as well with AR, with recare, with unscheduled treatment plans. You can practice small ones and ramp up. You can really learn to master this. So if I was applying this to the front office, I might say that we are working on getting a 65 or 98, whatever way you're calculating your treatment plans. Our goal is to really master that this time. Figure out if it's finances. So use a treatment tracker and do it for about 6 months and really track and review your cases every single week to see what are the patterns. What am I not closing? What am I closing? That really forces you to hone in on one area. And that's where the going gets tough. It's so much more fun to be shiny object syndrome where I'll do this for a little bit and then I'll do this for a little bit and then I'll do this for a little bit. I truly believe that being masterful, focusing on it, and really owning it is the way to truly propel your practice forward. So try it out. If you guys want help with this, if you want us to come in and help train your team, we have a ton of fun, as you can tell. Made this up. We were having videos. It was a party. It was so much fun, and it was fun to give out the little Emmy, Grammy awards to them. They all still have them. It was adorable. But if you want us to help you, we do this in practices and we just make it fun. So whatever your goals of your practice are, we're able to come in and get the whole team rallied and think outside the box and give you those creative outlets that maybe you are too close to your practice to see. So if we can help you in any way, please reach out to us. hello@thedentalatteam.com. And number one, I love to meet people. And number two, it would be fun to help you have the practice of your dreams become a reality. It's not far away. It's just one decision away. And that decision could just be calling us, emailing us, seeing if your practice and our company align. So I'd love to help you if that's of any help for you guys. hello@thedentalatteam.com. I'd love to hear from you. As always, guys, thanks for listening. I'll catch you next time on the Dental A Team podcast.
And that wraps it up for another episode of the Dental A Team podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.